We have a new preview of the Tyrannosaurus Rex in Walking with Dinosaurs. This means we get our first look at an unedited clip, our first listen to what the narrator sounds like, and a sense of the storytelling of the documentary. The T-Rex is one of the main dinosaurs of the first episode of Walking with Dinosaurs 2025. Later in this video, we'll go over the synopses for all episodes. Episode 1 airs on BBC's iPlayer on May 25th, so come back here after then for a review of that episode and every episode to come. The show will start airing on PBS for the American public on June 16th. Anyone not in the US or the UK is gonna have to rely on a VPN. You didn't hear it from me, this is not sponsored. Before we look at and listen to the new clip, this is the synopsis of episode 1, The Orphan. 66 million years ago, an orphaned baby triceratops roamed the lush world of Laramidia, alone and vulnerable. Stalked by the fearsome Tyrannosaurus Rex, the youngster relied on her wits and diminutive size to survive. Today, paleontologists in Montana are uncovering her fossils, allowing us to imagine her life and the dangers she faced. Stunning VFX recreate her encounters, from escaping a giant pterosaur to a heart-stopping face-off with T-Rex, bringing her story vividly to life. In the clip that BBC Earth released today, we see the baby triceratops, named Clover, hiding from the T-Rex, with the T-Rex turning its attention to the pterosaur and successfully getting a meal. In my opinion, there are 4 factors to this clip that get me extra excited for this new Walking with Dinosaurs documentary. For one, it's the personal, story-based approach of the original Walking with Dinosaurs that, for me, has helped that documentary stand the test of time, even though the CGI and not all of the science didn't. We do know that the episodes will also include present-day sections where they go over the science, but I hope that they'll keep those segments either to the beginning and or end of the episode, or at least that they don't intercut the prehistoric scenes too often so we can get immersed into it. Second thing that gets me very excited is the cinematography. I love the shots that slowly reveal the T-Rex, starting with the feet out of focus, stepping into frame, then the tracking shot along the back of the theropod, and finally the reveal of the face, which is accompanied by the narrator first naming the species.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And there's also a bit of comedy to how the pterosaur pops into frame, and then later how dopey and oblivious it looks as the T-Rex sneaks up on it. Third thing I love about this clip is the way the dinosaurs are brought to life. I think the models look fantastic, and the CGI and animation looks really good in my opinion, when we consider that this production doesn't have the budget of something like Prehistoric Planet. If I were to allow myself to nitpick, and I guess hereby I do, it would have been nice if they'd added some movement to a rock under the feet as the T-Rex steps away to integrate the animals with the environment just that little bit better, but the lighting, the textures, and the animations look really convincing. Last thing I really like, before I talk about something I don't like, is the script. Through the voiceover and the clip, we get a real sense of what kind of threat a T-Rex poses. A single T-Rex. And then at the end of the clip, as the baby Triceratops scurries away, we get the line,
For Clover, a terrifying first encounter, and it won't be her last. Up to 20,000 T-Rex roam Laramidia.
That's quite bone-chilling, because it makes encountering this apex predator not a rare occurrence, but the daily reality, and that's terrifying. Especially since I predict the episode will do quite well at getting us to feel attached to the baby Triceratops named Clover. So, as I said, something I don't like. Well, maybe that's too strong of a way to put it, but let's say something that I'm not yet convinced by is the narration itself. The original Walking with Dinosaurs was narrated by Sir Kenneth Branagh and brought a certain Shakespearean quality to the voiceover. Some people just have a really, really good voice, dare I say iconic, and know how to use it really effectively when telling a story. I'm not blown away by the new narrator, Bertie Carvel.
The Earth's most infamous predator could swallow Clover whole. Fortunately, the hunter's focus is elsewhere.
Don't get me wrong, a fine, accomplished actor, and there's really nothing wrong with the narration, but I can't help but wonder, Really? Kenneth Branagh really wasn't available? Really? It's just a small nitpick, like I said, there's nothing actually wrong with the narration. It doesn't distract or detract, but, you know, it's not Kenneth Branagh, that's all. Editing Evo here, it's also maybe a little too bloodless to secure a kid-friendly rating? I'll stop. On to the synopsis of the other 5 episodes. Episode 2, titled The River Dragon, continues the strong start of the series by focusing on the Spinosaurus. As I covered in a video last week, it really is the year of the Spinosaurus, so if you want to know about other Spinosaurus appearances in 2025, check out that video after this one. But for the synopsis, it says, North Africa, 100 million years ago, a Spinosaurus father must embark on a dangerous voyage to feed his babies. To reach his destination, he must lead his young family across one of the deadliest environments in Earth's history, a land crawling with ferocious predators. At the end of their journey, an extraordinary feast awaits, if he can run the gauntlet without his babies becoming someone else's meal. I love that we are getting a migration type story here, which reminds me of the King of the Skies episode of the original Walking with Dinosaurs. I do have a terrifying feeling that the dad Spinosaurus might die, and I'm already getting emotional about it. Like, he might sacrifice himself for his children. And it's gonna get to me. Episode 3 is Band of Brothers. Utah, 130 million years ago. A band of armored dinosaurs battle to reach adulthood, pursued by a group of Ute-raptors, one of the most formidable predators that's ever lived. It's a deadly game of cat and mouse that pits heavy armor against vicious claws and lethal cunning. A life and death struggle that builds to a final showdown amongst the flames of a burning forest. Episode 4, The Pack. 71 million years ago lived a teenage Albertosaurus, a faster, nimbler relative of the T-Rex. She must earn her place in a deadly, ferocious pack or risk starvation. Today, paleontologists in Western Canada are unearthing her remains, allowing us to imagine her story. Based on real-world evidence, stunning VFX recreate her encounters, from hunting pterosaurs to fighting the dominant matriarch and battling for survival in the brutal late Cretaceous world. Episode 5, Enemies Assemble. Evidence from a dramatic discovery in Canada reveals the epic story of one of the largest dinosaur herds that ever lived, the Pachyrhinosaurus, and one of its youngest members. To find enough food to survive, this close relative of Triceratops must embark on a grueling 400-mile migration across hostile wilderness. On their trail is the vicious pack-hunting Gorgosaurus. But the greatest threat of all awaits at the end of their journey, a cataclysmic storm that threatens the herd's very survival. The final episode is episode 6, Island of Giants. Island of Giants tells the tale of one of the largest dinosaurs ever to walk the earth, a colossal, long-necked Lusotitan. Living 150 million years ago on an island known as the Iberian Mesta, now Portugal, this 25-meter-long titan dwarfs every other dinosaur in the region. Yet his intimidating size is only part of the story. His ultimate goal is to win over a female and secure his legacy. It's a quest that will see him embark on an epic journey as he risks his life for love. Another thing that's really reminiscent of King of the Skies. On top of that, what I appreciate about the focus of this final episode is that picking Lusotitan, it doesn't choose the most obvious sauropod. The documentary sort of bounces quite a bit all over the timeline where it goes, you know, it's not like in ascending or descending order. So they could have picked anything, but I like that they picked Lusotitan. I do feel that other episodes are featuring very popular, very safe picks. I don't think they're really pushing the boat out in that regard. That's not really something you can fault them for. These species are popular for a reason and will motivate more people to watch, but I always appreciate it if we get some less obvious choices. Of course, some surprise appearances in the episodes can still fulfill that want. Let me know in a comment down below which of the 6 episodes you are most looking forward to, and check out my Year of the Spinosaurus video to see what other Spinosaurus appearances you can look forward to in 2025. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time.